Thank you very much, James. This is an exciting game. The resurrection's about to happen, Jason.
Yes, sir. Both teams have been playing two best-of-ones today in this brutally long best-of-one gauntlet to make it into the final, as the final team into the playoffs starting tomorrow. Actually, I should say starting tonight. We've got a quarterfinal best-of-3 coming up next. But for now, we got to figure out who's going to join in the playoffs. And, I mean, look, I'm with the desk. I'm with Blay, I should say. This feels like a massive gift over to FURIA. Yeah, Mongols has a great win rate on this map, but FURIA's played this in every single series and every single best-of-one has been played on Nuke. They're going to be comfortable and they're going to be confident and they know what's going on.
And they're certainly warmed up already. Ketzrada with that first headshot. Skull's coming in to respond, and it's FURIA up 2 players as they pop into this upper site. Senzu does what he can towards the back of the bomb site, but it's just too effective from FURIA. Zinho comes in from heaven. One nice headshot, couldn't quite follow up, and FURIA come crashing through that upper bomb site.
I feel like FURIA's ran that exact same pistol round like every Nuke match they've played. Against Na'Vi yesterday, against both teams today, it was all fast upper bus. I think Alex and Chad even commented on it earlier when they were casting a Nuke game from FURIA. That very same pistol round, and man, it's worked pretty well. Yeah, I think they've won it at least three times out of the 4 they've played.
Yeah, speaking of 3, Ketzrada picking up 3 kills on that pistol as well. He gets into the AK-47 early on. We know how strong Ketzrada can be. We've seen it yesterday, even in a losing effort versus Na'Vi. And Senzu towards outside, looking to catch that first head. Cello applying a little bit of pressure early on. He's going to sprinkle a few bullets through that smoke.
It's going to be an interesting matchup because you get into a day like today where teams don't have a whole lot of time to prepare and kind of look ahead for the next match, right? It's like, congratulations, you won your best-of-one. Enjoy your 5 minutes of celebration, and an hour later you're going to be playing another match. So you don't get a whole lot of time to actually prep. And on top of that, a long gauntlet of just high-pressure elimination matches. You know, you want to talk about Mongols has been rising up the rankings, but there's still got to be a level of inexperience that FURIA is going to have over them for sure. And I think in these kinds of situations as well, a team like FURIA with these players are going to be a little bit more adjusted to kind of having these longer sort of days.
Well, when you look at the side of Mongols
and missing Molotov.
Miss utility doesn't help, but it seems like FURIA and Mongols only ever play each other at $1 million events. We've had Cologne, Katowice, now the Esports World Cup, and every time so far it's been a disaster for FURIA. Mongols taken out in the play in Cologne and in Katowice, so they're looking to try and do it again here at the Esports World Cup.
Right, but I think early returns on FURIA, I mean, obviously it's just been 2 days and then these kind of 1 best-of-3 against Na'Vi and the 2 best-of-ones today that we've really seen, but this kind of new look FURIA with Skulls, with Fallen feeling like he's in a little bit more control in terms of dictating how this team plays. I think early returns have been an improvement. You know, looking good. I don't think it's going to be anything where anyone's like, oh, this FURIA team's going to be a world beater, but I think there's been positive steps and signs that they've moved in a positive direction, especially when you consider watching them on this map against Na'Vi. A lot of patience, a lot of pausing, not kind of rushing into their finishing moves, going ahead of things. They seem to be very poised at the moment, and that's only good signs.
An interesting feature yesterday from FURIA was the fact that they went for the double-up setup. Even on Nuke on the CT side, we've seen Cello pick it up with Fallen.
Yeah, playing ramp room and Fallen towards outside.
Cello wasn't necessarily the highest performer yesterday, but I think when he got on that CT side, he was just disruptive. He was difficult to deal with. And that's something we'll keep an eye on.
And that's kind of a good point because he did struggle a lot in Na'Vi to find like some momentum, especially in the first half. So I'm wondering if that alt pickup was like just the sense that he's having a rough game on the rifle, or if it's actually a design that they want to actually go for. There's Techno, another opening from Ketzrada through the squeak doors. Techno gets aggressive and an early 5-on-4 advantage, although Ketzrada's got to swap out to the MAC-10 now with only 3 HP.
Smoke will keep these FURIA players at bay for the time being, but that smoke will soon start to fade away. And Zinho starts to find himself in a powerful position to deal with this ramp threat. He'll head a little closer. Utility coming over the top, dodges that flash and realizes there's an onslaught of players coming towards him. So he decides to not stand and fight, instead drop down into lower and hope that they can come in towards him here.
And FURIA loved their ramp room hits yesterday into the lower bomb site as well. They really kind of focused on it against Na'Vi. And again, you put him in a situation where Mongols doesn't have a whole lot of time to prepare and watch back some of these games. Mizzino might have a really big game and be tested quite frequently on this map.
Well, here he is up first. 50 seconds still.
He's alone.
Plenty of time for FURIA to be composed in dealing with Mizzino. Multi-kill would be massive for him. And here they come, charging into the young Mongolian. He'll step up with a double. That's a lot of work done for Mizzino. He gets damage off on Cello. And now the rotation to that lower bomb site can start to be considered, but there's no plant yet for FURIA. Senzu, he's in a position here. If he waits long enough, he can get a 1v1 fight against Skulls, and there's still a player coming through ramp. That's Kesserado, low on health, who needs to try and get in behind Senzu, but his teammate now gone. Kesserado left with 3 health, and a 1v3 ahead of him with 15 seconds left on the clock. Time is not his friend, and he's got 1 kill, but again, 10 seconds left to get into the site. It's just too many problems.
I was going to say,
grab an AK and get out of there.
Yeah, probably just wants to save that at the end of the day. No real chance of getting into it. Unfortunately, after his opening brought so low, he couldn't really find a way to get involved in the action of that round. FURIA never felt like they had the comfort of securing that lower bomb site and try and readjust, recognizing they had some time to maybe go towards heaven, fall back from ramp room. The rotations would be coming down lower through secret, potentially through vents, and it's just not there, but you got to give credit to this guy. All alone at the lower bomb site. His teammates are very far away. Grabbing a double kill here, slowing this down. And you can see, there's a smoke up in the control side windows. Nothing for control side door. No smoke or Molotov for decon. There's a lot of points of danger if FURIA tries to stick that plant at that moment.
Oh, straight through the smoke. That's an opening to the side of Mongols thanks to Senzu. And they've already got players in the lower bomb site here, Jason.
Yeah, they really do. Feeling a little bit of danger and obviously sensing the potential for FURIA kind of attack into that point. So Mazzino's going to get aggressive and start peeking up and wants to find some information. No utility really on the side of FURIA. They have got no smokes, 1 flash, 1 grenade. So everything's going to be contact from here, and you got to hope you win some individual fights.
Mazzino up through secret. Timing's good on a Fallen, and Mazzino gets a lovely lineup of 2 players. Yuri caught on top of main roof. And the scoreline is all tied up, 2 apiece. FURIA Mongols going tit for tat, and I mean, this is a Mongol squad that have a lot of excitement coming into the 2nd season of the year because they finally got an international event under their belt. Up for debate whether that was ST or not, of course, but regardless, winning an event is a massive step forward for the side of Mongols, and it's certainly inspired a lot of their own continent. I think their big goal coming into the major was to try and secure another spot for the Asian region, and they're just getting better and better with time.
Yeah, they really are. And I think one of the fun things about it is, like, if you look at it as if you want to split the year up into 2 seasons, right? The whole first half of this year, the first season, was the emergence of Mongols and the surprise at how good they've been looking and how much progress they've been making. So now you go into the second half of the season and it's like, how much can they build upon this? How dangerous can they break into the top 10? Can they break into the top 5? Can we consider them a title contender at some point? And that's going to be the story of Mongols trying to really establish themselves as an extremely dangerous team in this scene. I think a lot of the pro teams are caught onto it. I think a lot of, you know, the talent, the broadcast talent, the analysts in the scene and the figureheads are starting to see it. And I think a lot of the scene is being won over as well.
Yeah, I think that's a storyline that a lot of people are going to be following closely to round out this year. Bomb plant is quite solid there from Kesserado. Some extra cash in a round that they didn't expect to get too much out of. So FURIA can now focus up heading into the next tier. But it is Mongols with a small lead, 3-2, and the AWP out for 9-10. No spotting for Fallen Sniper just yet. It is full rifles across every player here for FURIA. Let's see what 9-10 can do on the CT side. Yet to get a kill so far on Nuke. But once he gets that primary choice weapon in his hands, he can be very effective.
Sees the first smoke come up. Now the second is going to plume and obscure his vision. Look at Yuri trying to step in front of it. Smoke is broken open. Nothing available for 9-10. And now, a second one coming. That might be the chance, and he just couldn't spot the legs.
That smoke just about protects FURIA. There was whispers still in the air. And the FURIA players get down into the lower bomb site. Mazzino rotating through. Breaks open that window. No one from FURIA close enough yet, but they are coming. Cello and Fallen close by. That bomb runs with no gun in his hand. Fallen goes down. Good dink from Mazzino, but he's taken out by Skulls. And a 4v3 with plenty of time left here. FURIA put that bomb down in the site, and it's going to be a retake. But Kesserado, once again, damaged up and taken out by Senzu. And now it's a 4v2 for this retake, and Mongols have got the time to go for it. Cello looks away at the wrong time, and that killer instinct of Techno to come in on his own and make that individual play forward. Mongols take back the B bomb site.
Mazzino has had some huge impact in this game so far at this lower bomb site. Even though he only gets 1 kill, again, you slow things down, you drop the bomb, you get information for your team, and Mongols has shown starting to look pretty solid for them, up 4-2, 4 rounds in a row. In the past 3 rounds, they've only lost 3 players, so money's growing on that CT side as well. And this offensive half for FURIA is starting to get to a point where it's going to be really challenging, having to break through all that money.
And you've done all the battling all day. It's been such a long day of best of ones and pressure and adrenaline. And it all comes down to this one map of Nuke. And you don't want to get off to a slow start. You don't want to allow Mongols to build up a huge half here on the CT side. And a timeout taken.
Now, if you think back to yesterday in the best of 3 against Na'Vi, one thing FURIA did on these rounds with Tech9s, we saw plenty of upper busts, plenty of upper explosions. And again, if you're Mongols and if any team at this point where there's a potential for a half buy on the opposing side, on the T side, you have to be thinking there's the possibility of that upper bust. FURIA was very, very effective with them, so Mongols got to be very cautious in this round.
With Tech9s, seems like a pretty solid call straight through that door. Caserado held back behind utility, and he's just going to go straight through the fire, straight through the flames, and Techno's hearing every step, but he cannot deal with Caserado. Now it sends you towards the back of the bomb site. They must deliver headshots. He's got one already. Drops in behind cover. His teammates trying to help, but Caserado is doing so much for FURIA, and suddenly it is just 910 who has the rifles, and the Tech9 show their power on that upper bust. FURIA breakthrough.
That's what I'm saying. That can be so hard to handle, and you want Caserado just delivering a stunning opening kill, drive-by pre-fire with the Tech9, stepping into the fire as well to beat the timing on the follow-up smoke. Absolutely brilliant. That takes some money away, and that's a rough loss, and immediately Mongols call a timeout.
Interesting. We're going to get to see a double op setup right now for the Mongols. It's currently what they're wielding. Mazinho with a sniper, 910 with one in his hands.
I'm not sure I like the switch into the double op from the Mongols defense, especially on Mazinho, because he's been so effective at the way he's had to fall back and rotate into the lower bomb site. He's had 3 really impactful kills with the rifle. You put him on the op, and I think some of those positions he's played and some of the angles he's taken, they're no longer viable with the AWP. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Mongols defense changes now that he's going to have to be a little bit more selective with how he positions himself.
Let's see what the Mongols have in mind. Techno going back to his standard position. Upper bomb side, but 910 just scanning outside. Not spotting too much. He goes back into the peak at Silo. Yuri's currently occupying that. Sensu's down early to Caserado, who just really isn't slowing down. 9-3. What a start he's had here on the T side of Nuke.
Yeah, he's been challenging towards that door almost every single round. And that's what 3 openings we've seen out of him, maybe even 4 if you go back to the pistol. He's been a beast so far for FURIA, getting things started. And now comes that ramp walk, and here's that op on Mazinho.
Oh, Caserado, he starts to join Mazinho. Oh. He's going to attack in towards him, and Mazinho's sniper strikes on a cello, takes him out, goes for the second on towards Skulls. He can't land it, but he's stuck in behind this big box, and he goes out for the peek. It's a maneuver he had to make because the fire was eliminating his current position, but that secondary sniper of 910 lies in wait. Now the fight on Blitz and Yuri. It's coming through main. It's going to be Blitz on top of that fight. 3v3 with 45 seconds remaining, and that upper site, it looks tantalizing here to FURIA, but there's still some utility to slow it down. And Techno forced out of his comfortable spot, and Caserado keeps on chopping through this defense. It's another follow-up from Caserado. 3 kills in this round, and 910, he can't do anything about this. FURIA have the upper site, and FURIA have a tied game.
The Caserado literally resurrecting FURIA. He is doing all the work round after round. This is a disgusting performance from Caserado here on Nuke against Mongols. And that's taken the money mostly away. There's still some cash on Senzu, Mazinho, and Techno. 910 has to save this op. No point in going for it. And at the moment, it feels very much like a one-man army for FURIA. You won't complain about, though, because it's got you 4 rounds so far.
Yeah, 4 rounds. That's Caserado, who you want to see performing like this for FURIA. He's made the big commitment to stay with the squad. And even yesterday, in some of those rounds against Na'Vi, it looked like FURIA were down and out, and then suddenly Caserado starts to strike in, and you just see the level he can get to. There's always a shot he's on the server.
So nasty. Look at the way he's just playing right between the fire and the smoke, waiting for that follow-up peek, knows it's going to come.
Finally an op in. The hands have fallen.
This is a pretty important round for the Mongols. If you lose this one and then you truly are out of funds, depending on what you're able to save, if you're able to save anything, you know, you all of a sudden find yourself in the depths of a poor economy with only 3 rounds remaining in the game. And that's FURIA who's going to be able to take advantage of that and potentially get out to a big lead on the T side.
A shot from Fallen. AWP strikes for the first on Blitz sense. You can't handle Cello. And FURIA are just starting to go through the motions. Such an important round for Mongols, and they've lost 2 players early. Mazinho can't save them from heaven, and Techno's going to go down to the back of the bomb site. That is easy pickings for FURIA. They're now in the lead, and this T side is starting to look comfortable towards the end.
FURIA was ready for every single one of those fights. That's a really brilliant poised attack into the upper bomb site. You know, the kill on Fallen, he's waiting for that peek from Big Garage from the upper. Finds that pick. Cello's able to just kind of slide into his fight over in mini, and then just great coverage from Yuri up towards heaven, and now the op is surely gone.
That's such a rough half for 9-10. I mean, he's still got a few rounds to try and recover with some impact, but he's had the op out a few times. He was 0-3 to start this round. Still yet to pick up a kill.
Caserado came in today with some attitude. He had a couple of knife attempts earlier. Yeah. He did get 1 knife. He almost got a second one as well.
I think it's just like payback because Bit got a double knife kill on them yesterday.
True, that's a good point. Karma's coming back in their favor.
Another time, we've had plenty in this half. This is the second use for the TheMongolz.
They had 1 used by FURIA a little bit earlier on as well. At the moment, they're just cruising with the momentum at this point. Here's Fallen looking over the smoke. Oh, Blitz spamming through it. Overexposed, and that's a nice slide from Cello. But this one right here, just really good awareness from Yuri, saying, I've got 2 players streaming in on the entry. I'm going to play this passive. I'm going to wait for the peek and provide cover.
You see, because they got all of those initial kills so easily, they could just focus on the next one. You know, they were wrapping Techno from 2 sides.
But I think this is also the danger that kind of Des touched on of Mongols. Yes, this is a good map for you, but FURIA, having played this map so much already, they've been able to have so many conversations about what's gone wrong, what can be better, what we're supposed to do in these situations. Each and every time you get a little bit better, each and every time you get more on the same page.
And you want to use the advantage of the fact that you've been a squad for a significant amount of time in comparison to a new roster playing their first event together. You bring them to the map they've had the most practice on in officials. Yuri will remove Sense. We're not expecting much defense here in this round for the Mongols. It is going to be 6 rounds for FURIA. The best case scenario now for Mongols is being able to tie this half up, and right now it doesn't even look like that is anywhere near likely. And we were at a point just a few rounds ago where it felt like Mongols were going to build up a very comfortable CT side, and suddenly that upper bus you were mentioning that FURIA have in their back pocket, it gets right back into the fight. And from that point, it has been FURIA in control.
Well, ooh, good shot from Blitz. Nothing's going to come from it as Techno can't build upon that. Mongols is going to get 3,000 or 2,900, I should say, after this round loss, so they'll have plenty of money for another full buy, and then they're fighting for an even halftime score. But FURIA has all the momentum and feeling very good about this T-side. Fallen's doing a really good job out-calling Mongols' defense. 4 rounds in a row for FURIA at this point. And it hasn't been particularly close.
No, it really hasn't. They've definitely turned this around, putting Mongols on the back foot. Fallen looked quite easily composed at stalking down the line.
Now's the time for 9-10.
Possible. 9-10 needs to get on the board at this point. He's committed outside. He's going for this early fight, trying to take them down. Off Silo finally will strike on to Fallen, but he's in a position that he can't fall back from. And because so many players in FURIA are just full of confidence right now, fights are going down all across the map, and FURIA are coming out on top of them. It is Mazinho and Techno 4K left against 4 players of FURIA, and the T side have so much space and so much time to play with.
Caserado's in the flow state right now. He's feeling this game and reading his timing so very well. He's taken advantage of all that chaos outside. 2 kills for FURIA and just slides through the mini smoke. Most of this half we've seen him aggressively spamming, aggressively kind of swinging for fights over a door. This time he just kind of lurks out. A different style, and Mongols isn't prepared for it. And Mazinho and Techno, they just have to save the rifles. No other option as the upper bomb site is compromised and lost. And now FURIA ensures themselves at least 7 rounds going into the second half.
All right, now looking like it is going to be 8 rounds, just with how easy these last few have been for FURIA. Just so much speed at the start of these rounds, and FURIA winning every duel they're taking. Small long day of best of ones. It all comes down to this final matchup. The winner will advance to the playoffs and the loser knocked out. So it is definitely an all-in game here between FURIA and Mongols.
Well, 9-10 gets on the board with his first kill, but in a position where there's no second options. There's nowhere to fall back from as his teammate gets eliminated. FURIA just straight up overwhelming Mongols. Here we go, final round of the first half. 7-4 in the favor of FURIA, looking to build upon it. Deep utility outside for the defense, and Fallen, with all the confidence in the world, is going to come right through it. Fast pace. Ooh. This time it's a Molotov, not a smoke, and he's got two.
Lovely work from Fallen. Goes outside, combat opping his way through the defense, and Mongols down to 3 players. Minute 30 seconds in this round as well, so FURIA can stay composed because they know they're in control. Mazinho, he's going to take a step too far into the open. Half of his health eliminated. And Skulls moves forward that bomb. Just looking to see if Mazinho is still hanging around.
I'm loving this FURIA that we're seeing. So many different looks and ways to attack the outside yard, and look at this pause now. It's been pretty high octane when they've been able to kind of string kills together and just stream into the bomb site. But at the moment, looking for that peak, looking for that next reaction, looking for someone from Mongols to get curious and want to find some information and be able to punish it.
Just a tense round with 35 seconds left. FURIA are eventually going to come into this upper bomb site through main with Skulls and Yuri. Serato can come late through Hut, but time is certainly a factor that could even work in favor of Mongols as time starts to tick on. Techno just waiting at the back of the site. Senzu's waiting at Tetris, and that bomb's not going in towards the A site. In fact, it is going down lower. It feels comfortable thanks to Fallen picking all the information up that they can go and plant on that lower site. And now FURIA are surely going to be locking themselves in. An 8th round to close out this first half. That looked like a sure thing, though, as Yuri goes down to Senzu. And it's a 3v3 established.
There's going to be one more lurker coming behind him in the vents, though. It's Serato who just comes back, but he's not needed. Skulls pops off, double headshot, and Mazinho's got 5 HP, no kit.
Yeah, Mazinho coming back in here. This is a tall order, to say the least, and it does not look like he will be finding the right pathway forward. Serato comes in. What a recovery to the first half from FURIA. It didn't start strong, but with an upper bust and some impactful moments after that, it had turned into a FURIA dominant first half showing.
لحظات البداية عاشت معنا. كنا نحسبها وقت للتسلية بس. نحسبها بس ذكريات.
عبود أعطي أختك اليد يا ولد.
ابتكرنا فيها ابتكارات، وإذا بغينا قلبناها خرافات. كنا نحسبها بس لمة وصحبة وسهرات.
انتبه نوب ترى نوب.
لكن كنا نشوف عالم ما حد يشوفه.
ليت يشغل وقته بشيء يفيده.
الله عليك على اليد صد.
عالم كبر وعاش فينا. عالم الحماس فيه يوصلك كل مرة لحلم أصعب، بس ما يصعب عليك. بارد معك وين ما تروح.
Well, it certainly is the last of the last chances here in the Resurrection bracket. FURIA versus Mongols in a best-of-1 on Nuke. It was said on the desk that this is a risk to let Nuke go through for Mongols against FURIA, and as Jason, currently FURIA in control.
Yeah, I'm punishing Mongols at the moment, but I mean, I'll tell you this: that's one of the best. That's one of the best I've seen FURIA look in a long time. That's actually a very sick opening half. Good calling from Fallen, and obviously, K-Serato's a stud. 15-3. This is peak K-Serrato just destroying Mongols.
Well, the boost was just about set up in time here. Cello not able to make anything of it, though, as Mongols attacking the ramp quite swiftly. It's a 3v2. Headshot from Yuri making it so. And a minute 30 seconds left as Mongols send one player down the ramp, but the bomb is the most important one. Techno taking K-Serrato out of the equation, and Mongols needed the pistol win. They've certainly got it, so 8-5.
Well, that keeps him in the game, keeps him within striking distance, certainly. And they'll get a chance to build upon it as well and maybe claw back, close the gap while FURIA is still trying to settle down the economy. You know it's going to mean a little bit of a later op for Fallen as things progress. Good opening. Wonderful fight from Techno. And yeah, the boost gets there just in time, but what a fast pace for Mongols, basically just rushing ramp off that entrance outdoor.
And the Mongols go straight into rifles on every player.
And FURIA goes straight into a full buy. Upgraded pistols, scout on Fallen, so dangerous elements in this round. But again, if you lose this, you've all of a sudden given Mongols a great chance to claw back.
K-Serrato not able to connect. A lucky D through the smoke. But they've addressed the secret issue already. They've got two players down lower, and there's plenty of Mongols players coming to meet them.
You need this first kill, because then you can actually use the player advantage, the number advantage. That's huge. MP9 gets involved in the action. 2-for-2 trade down secret.
It'll be good enough. 9-10 making quick work of Yuri, but Fallen's already rotated down, broken through that window. He's now hoping that they peek in towards him. He can tag them up with his scout, but he hasn't got into position to do so yet. And they've made their way into the bomb site. What a shot from 9-10. That flick out to Fallen. Fallen could have unraveled the whole round there for Mongols. And another big shot from 9-10. He may have had an incredibly quiet first half, but pretty loud to start off the second.
Yeah, I was going to say, where was this on the CT side? That AK's looking sharp at the moment. Two brilliant headshots, and it got worse for FURIA. The full investment doesn't pan out.
Well, that's exactly what you were saying now. If FURIA have gone for the investment, they can't buy in this next round, and suddenly that gap that they built up has shrunk. It is going to be 8-7 unless something miraculous happens with some upgraded pistols here for FURIA.
They had a good chance. The two players in secret made it a possibility. It was that fallen scout play, which was looking good for a long time. And if it's not an instant snap from 9-10, maybe he's able to delay the plant. Maybe he's able to cause some chaos and allow his teammates to get involved in the action. But just wonderful AK work from 9-10.
Senzu's only got a USP, predicting the kind of situation over for FURIA that they've currently got with lack of head armor. He can wield that USP to devastating effect. The Mongols walking dry outside with utility, but that shot from Yuri connects. It's down to 6 HP for 9-10. He gets one before he gets put in the grave. 2 players up for FURIA. Shortly, it'll be none. This Techno turns back with a big headshot. And Yuri's left in a 1v4, Deeg in hand. And he's getting wrapped.
Good movement, though, to stay hidden, to kind of wheel your way. One more kill would be about all you're going to get, and he's missed the chance. It's done now. 8-7. Mongols have brought it within 1 before FURIA can get a strong full buy out. And we'll see the op on Fallen. Snap bot. That'll be out in the yard. Cello probably debating if he wants to go into that double op setup.
We'll see if they decide to go with it. They were very persistent with the purchase yesterday.
Yep, and they will. And he's got to go light on utility, throws away the head armor to be able to get a smoke to block things off and buy him some time to be mobile around the map with the double op setup, something that obviously FURIA really likes on this defensive side.
Cello wasn't always hitting shots to the AWP, but his sheer presence was enough to delay Na'Vi in a lot of rounds yesterday. Smoke up cancels out any Mongols' aggression towards him at the moment. Falling with an advanced position. He's got that scope deep and hut.
And while FURIA's saying everything inside is quiet and there's no presence there, Yuri's taken the opportunity to move through secret at the moment. He's going to be at stairs. No smoke wall set up just yet. K-Serato blowing open a smoke just to try and gather information, but Yuri's going to bide his time. There is flashbangs on Fallen and Skulls are the only two who can set Yuri up if he wants it.
That Molotov has forced Yuri away from secret, further and further down into the lower bomb site. And now Mongols have space to play with under a minute left in this round. Yuri breaking open the windows, or rather the double doors, creating a hole for his vision.
It allows him to spot, obviously, and then let him fall back, close the doors, and Mongols might not expect that hole to be there. Give him another angle to fight out. There's Cello's op ringing out on the map for the opening kill of round 16. And the rest of Mongols moving towards secret, but wonderful job delaying by Yuri. All the utility dumped has brought this down to 25 seconds left.
Player deficit for Mongols. They know if they can get into the bomb site, they've got a great chance of closing this one, but Yuri is doing so well right now, delaying them with utility, now with bullets. Mazinho out of there.
Round's done, save.
Blows open that door, and they don't have the time to get into the site any longer. They're going for kills, and they're certainly leaping into this last second, and now they do have time, thanks to a last-ditch effort, a last push forward, and that bomb plant denied by Skulls. If he just stays alive, he's won the round with a second to spare, and that is 9 rounds on the board for FURIA. That became so chaotic towards the end.
Yeah, also, thank you, Skulls, because I almost had to bite my tongue there.
A little embarrassing.
I know, that's actually crazy. They were able to bring it back in that fashion. So many advantages for FURIA, it felt like, and they all just got taken away one by one. But what, there's the hole broken open as well. That's how Yuri finds this. Yeah, Mazinho, you'll never expect. That's a filthy angle. But so much attention on that lower bomb site. What a play from Senzu to grab that double kill. Almost completely ruins FURIA. Still a costly round. Mongols have set themselves up to break the economy of the defense.
Cello doesn't have the AWP in his hands this time, but he's certainly got the backup of the AWP behind him in Fallen, and this is allowing that MP9 to get a little deeper in towards ramp. But this outside transition has allowed a couple of Mongols players to get close to these smokes, and Yuri's job is to address that problem, but they've traded positions. They've got into garage, and Yuri's playing in towards main. And this AWP for Fallen does not chime in, but the distraction might set up Cello. It might allow him to be impactful with his MP9, but they ain't walking into him. They're taking the time, and Cello decides he has to give up that spot. And all this space is given to Mongols.
Oh, there's the fight. Yuri looking for the follow-up. Good shot from Blitz. What a rebuttal. But now they think the upper bomb site is available, but it's K-Serato still here, not for long.
A 9-10 big shot, but not ready for Fallen to be in the site so quick. And Techno 4K is thrust into a 1v2. 44 seconds to play this one. He decides to go down that vent silently. It's a smart move for Techno. He's got a little bit of time to play with now on a Molotov. Fortunately for Techno as well, he hasn't taken damage in this round, so he's got all his health to play with. Uses that molly, but it doesn't quite reach the intended position. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. And Techno, he's going to focus on Fallen, and he's now got confirmation that Techno is still in the middle of that bomb site. Distraction is enough from Fallen to allow Cello to come over the top.
Really well done from Fallen, just freezing him out in the open and willing to let himself be sacrificed, knowing Cello's for sure going to get the trade. Scavenges the op off the ground, but still, I think if you're Mongols, you buy again. 4 kills, bomb plant, money's not pretty, but again, you've put yourself in a position where resetting the economy, you can get, what, 2 AK-47s, couple of Galils likely. Mongols have a decision to make, and they're going to call their final timeout to discuss it. Do they want to put the entire map, their entire tournament life in this one round? High risk, high reward, and they go for the risk again.
And best of one. They're willing to take the risk towards the end. Cello will still be on that MP9.
Just money has not been good for FURIA these past few rounds, but they're still just barely pulling these rounds in their favor. So 3 AK-47s, a Galil, and a Tech 9 for Mazinho.
What's the call here for Mongols? Are they going to accelerate it? Certainly looks like it. They're going to be charging it towards Cello, but perhaps predicting him to have a weaker weapon. He does pretty well considering he only had an SMG, a kill, and dropping Senzu to 1 health. But Mongols ain't stopping. They're going into this lower bomb site. K-Serato has been much quieter in the second half than he has been in the first, and he's ready to strike this time, charging out a decon. Second kill locked in for K-Serato, and finally, his fangs are blunted by Blitz. That plant is now confirmed, and Mongols into the 2v3. It was such a risk to throw everything into this and fight for their tournament life. And now if they can close out this 2v3, the risk will pay off, but Blitz is down, Techno will follow, and FURIA push forward to 11. It is getting increasingly likely now that the Brazilians will be knocking Mongols out. They are in a great position on Nuke.
And obviously, like, the double kill from K-Serato is huge, but I think the biggest impact of it is it prevents anyone from Mongols getting into good post-plant positions. Everyone's kind of stuck where they are from that point. Once you trade off K-Serato, get that bomb actually planted, all of a sudden you can't leave the silo position. You can't, get anywhere except for dark. And just no comfort for Mongols after the bomb goes down due to this kind of a play. And they're exposed from so many angles that they just can't cover.
Fallen going back to hide again. He's taken this angle a few times in the half. Hasn't necessarily revealed it, so he's happy to use it again. Mongols have deployed all of those outside smokes already, and Fallen might finally get the peek he's been waiting for. Techno just around that corner. Techno not taking the risk. Mongols in the meantime slowly increasing their control towards outside, and Techno catches a good timing to drop skulls.
Yeah, that's not at all what FURIA is looking for. Here comes the wrap in towards Mini. Good kill with the MAC-10. Fallen can't react fast enough, and all of a sudden, Mongols have found a little bit of life. I don't even think K-Serato and Cello should be going for this. Gonna back away. And remember, the money's been so hurt for FURIA. This is actually a painful loss to take. Now, they've got rounds to play with still. But the next buy for FURIA is going to be very sketchy if they even decide to invest at all.
They could go for the eco around this M4 for K-Serato.
I think you should, right? Like, at this point, maybe
you get the full buy finally, because you've been playing with all these little problems. Like, you got an MP9 a lot of these rounds. You've had to kind of change your setup because of that. And Kestrada not getting his weapon into the next round is almost surely locked in that decision.
Yeah, now it's sealed. Now you have to save. Maybe some upgraded pistols on a couple players. You'll be counting your money, but you have 3 rounds to play with. You might as well sacrifice one and make sure you can get the strongest possible buy. Little bit of aggression in towards Hut, backfires. Skull's getting a little impatient. Fallen had been waiting for that peek, and as soon as he moves, Skulls takes his place, but Techno handles things with the Tech 9. Lovely round from Mongols. And it's only USP, and indeed, the smart economic decision from FURIA. Tournament life on the line for both of these squads. Winner gets resurrected back into the playoffs and will face off against Mongolz in the playoff bracket quarterfinals.
Quite a dangerous resurrection spot, to be honest. Just back from the dead and instantly have to play Mongolz. We knew this tournament was going to be difficult. The way the format shakes out, you got a best of 3 opening game, and if you lose that, then you're immediately in this gauntlet. Mongols dealing with the pistols easily. We've seen complexity fall today, Jason. We had to say goodbye to them. That was
a shocking loss, right,
yeah,
against
really.
M80? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you wouldn't have expected that one. That's going to be a tough game to swallow for the complexity squad as well. Slow start to the second half of the season for them with the early elimination. A lot of teams falling by the wayside in this grueling gauntlet today. And Mongols trying to avoid falling prey to that same fate.
So the buy will be back here for FURIA. It is going to have a couple of weaknesses. Well, mainly that for mass, and also lack of utility on a few players here.
Kestrada was what, 15-3 at half?
Yeah. And
4 kills so far in this second half. Now they haven't.
one of them was pretty impactful. A couple of them on that lower bomb site. Overall, yeah, it's been much quieter here. (9-10) on the other hand.
Yeah, he's heated up in the second half. He's the other direction.
2 sides to the story.
All right, slow-paced round from Mongols. Minute and 22 seconds left. There's 1 round of utility towards that upper bomb site. Counter nades go out. Now, do they commit? Is this just a double pump? Do they want to fall away or force the issue? They're going to force it right into Hut.
Oh my god, okay, the FAMAS, some call it a weakness. Skull sees it as a strength as he just keeps going, switches to that AK, and Mongols broken apart. Skulls just stops them. And Cello now defending ramp. It is a damaged 9-10 with Yuri waiting in lobby. Bomb is down right in front of him. And 9-10 has the impossible task of getting anywhere near that bomb. Big shot onto Skulls.
Yeah, but you got nowhere to go. Boxed in. Got to fight your way out. Oh!
That Deagle got back. If he had taken that shot, well, that would have taken my breath away. But FURIA survive it. Skulls with a relief inside. But what a round from Skulls, man. The FAMAS gets the double. He switches to the AK. I'm surprised he got away with all 3, but it was stylish.
Yeah, was that a double tap fadeaway with the FAMAS that I saw? That first kill? Let's check it out. This is Blitz from the previous round. Here we go. Yeah, maybe 3.
Yeah, there was a couple of bullets in there at a minimum. And this AK switch out, and yeah, I think Senzu's going to be very frustrated he didn't get that kill back.
I think that's going to be a round when they review it, Mongols. After this, they just say, man, we shouldn't have double pumped that. We should have just called this off when the counter util came in. And now on the back foot, 5-on-4 in the favor of FURIA, on the verge of eliminating the Mongols from the Esports World Cup.
A brutal day with only 1 winner throughout the best of ones. Cello chimes in. That secondary sniper is proving to be incredibly effective. And this has been a battle that has raged on from 2023 into 2024. The Mongols always having the better of FURIA every time they meet each other at events. It doesn't happen that often, but it happens at the big ones. It happens at Cologne, Katowice, and now here at the Esports World Cup. And finally, FURIA look like they're about to best the Mongols. Only 3 players away. 2 down in the vent. 1 cutting off rotations, and Techno lurking on the upper bomb side at door. But there's just so many options here for FURIA. And it might be the ops to get the job done.
Well, Fallen's just giving away a sound cue, which you can't be super happy about. Remember, we've seen FURIA almost give away a couple big advantage rounds that they've had. Noise coming out from the Mongols, and here comes the execute out the windows.
Cello just waiting. There's two ops down on this lower bomb site. Cello chimes in and he goes for 910, but he can't stop him. And now 910 is in a clutch that he can possibly win. Bomb goes down in the site. FURIA doubled up together. Oh, doors swing wide open. 910 unable to sink the shot, and it is a sinking ship for Mongols. Best of ones all day long, but only one victor, and that is FURIA that come out of today resurrected and remain in the tournament at the Esports World Cup. They go through to the playoffs, and the Mongols go home.
A wonderful performance throughout this for FURIA, and they've got to be happy. Look at it. Look at them celebrate coming out of the player break. The